welcome. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, I am the Hermit Tarot, and this is my YouTube channel. A massive welcome back to those who are returning. In today's video, we're asking Spirit, what makes you unforgettable? There is going to be an extended reading as well. Depending on what comes out in the first part of your reading. The main template for your extended will be who is remembering you, why are they remembering you, and what is the outcome of them pulling on your energy. I will include a sneak peek of your extended reading at the end of your YouTube reading, just to give you a heads up of what you can expect. Now, as you can see, in order to select a group for today's reading, I do have 4 different rings in front of me. I'm also going to be shuffling oracle cards from the Kim Kranz Wild Unknown Oracle deck, and this will help you determine which of these 4 groups you're feeling most drawn to. Whichever of these groups contains the most honest messages for you will draw you in. There are many different ways you can select a group, so I highly recommend taking your time and selecting a method that you feel confident in. If you prefer to do this intuitively, I do have a 1-minute meditation clip that is guided. It will play after this clip, and it is going to kind of talk you through connecting to your intuition, clearing your mind, and helping you feel pulled towards a group. If you have any other weird, wild, or wonderful methods that you believe other people could benefit from, please comment down below what you do, as it may help somebody else out as well. Now, let me shuffle some cards from this deck. You can skip ahead if you don't want to see the shuffling. Check the timestamps in the description box for the chapters so you can skip ahead at any point throughout your reading. Spirit, tune me into the collective energy, please. Those that have selected this reading, help me to offer clear, honest messages to that collective by selecting cards for each of these groups. Starting with group 1, please, Spirit. What card may help group 1? We have the River coming out for group 1. So if you feel drawn towards this card, the number 34, the words the river, this horse, or this Merkaba star ring, then you'll be a part of group 1's reading. Spirit, what card may offer group 2 the most clear, honest messages for their reading? What card may offer group 2? Thank you, Spirit. For group 2, we have the Starborn card. So if you feel drawn towards this card, the number 3, the words the Starborn, the egg imagery, or the gold amethyst ring, then this will be your reading. You're a part of group 2. Starting with group 3 now. Spirit, what card may offer group 3 the most clear, honest messages, please, Spirit? What card? Thank you. You guys got a lot of different cards, so group 3 may have messages in other groups as well. The card for group 3 is the Stone. So if you feel drawn towards this card, the number 67, the words the Stone, this symbolism of a triangle, square, and a circle, or the amber silver ring, then you'll be a part of group 3's reading. And group 4, Spirit, last but not least. What card may offer group 4 the most honest messages about their reading? Okay. The card I have for you is 28, the Shadow. So if you feel drawn towards this card, the number 28, the words the Shadow, or this gold ring, then you'll be a part of group 4's reading over here. So those are the 4 groups. Let me pull you down so you can get a closer look at everything. Take your time when selecting a group. It is important that you select a group that you feel most drawn to. Don't rush that process. If you need more time, pause the video, rewind the video. When you know which of these 4 groups you are feeling most drawn to, check the timestamps in the description box, click on your group's timestamp, and join me in your reading. So the first thing I want you to do with me is to take in 2 deep, mindful breaths. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to focus on clearing your mind. It's natural to have thoughts racing at this point. I want you to embrace each thought as it comes and let it slip as quickly as it came in. Focus on clearing and balancing out these thoughts so that they come and go without a desire to be attached to them. And now, with a rested mind, I want you to think of the first group that comes to your mind. It may be a number, it may be an object that I showed you. It could be a specific color. It could be a feeling that you felt when I showed you each of the groups today. When you are ready and when you feel confident, select your group and join me in your reading. Hi my group ones, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the River card or this beautiful ring right here, then this is going to be your reading. Now sweet souls, your ring is actually one of my favorite rings. I got this from Blessed Be Magic, and it is a Merkaba ring. There's a lot of theory behind this shape that has I think it's supposed to be the 3 triangles. It's got a 3D triangle and then a triangle inside of it. And I would honestly butcher the theory if I go from the top of my head, but it is a beautiful principle that we find through spirituality. It is the idea of those 3 main aspects of the human experience working together to keep us conscious, keep us connected, and I think accountable as well. That's my interpretation of it. But yeah, I highly recommend looking into it as you chose this group for a reason. So let's put your Merkaba ring up here and let's have a look at your river energy. We're asking Spirit, what makes you unforgettable? And I can already see with the river coming out. Sorry, group 1, I just interrupted your reading, but I'm back. Not that much has changed for you. But as I was saying, I can see with the River card that one thing that makes you very unforgettable is the way that you move. There's something about your physical movements as well as the actions that you take in life that really draws people towards you. I'm getting that a lot of people may have their eye on you and may be watching you. You also draw curiosity. People are very curious about what you're going to do next, about what your game plan is, and about where your movements are going to take you in life. Physically speaking, some of you may have a very graceful way of moving. You may be very elegant and very mindful and demure. Now I'm just quoting things now. But you may be very mindful of your actions and the actions that you take. But what this is also kind of giving me is another aspect to this group that likes to operate in secrecy. You don't like to tell everybody what you're doing. You don't like to reveal all your secrets too soon, much like the way this horse is peeking out under this odd shape. So I do feel like for a lot of you, your actions seem to be coming from a space where you're not always telling everybody why you did it or what you're doing. You may just kind of pop up and surprise people. Because of that, I am seeing some Aquarius placements in this group. I'm also getting Virgo, and I'm getting Gemini. These energies that like to operate in subtlety with intrigue. Some of y'all may have some Pisces there as well, but really it's Aquarius, Virgo, and Gemini that are coming through strongly. With the number 34, there is a hint here of you being able to move in a way that makes others want to mimic you. Even if your experience hasn't been straightforward and easy by any means, those around you get the impression that what you've done has not only led to growth, but a level of stability and opportunity that makes them want to follow you. You guys are coming through as trendsetters or people that like to keep up with the next current thing in your own lane. Doesn't mean that you're always doing what's popular, but it does mean that you guys are coming across as people who inspire others, who do things that tend to trend in one way or another within a niche or within a majority popularity sort of viewpoint. I do think that this is not just about the actions, it's also about how you present yourself. I'm getting that your Venus sign may be one of subtlety that also likes to just sort of do whatever it wants, and you kind of inspire people to do the same. There's a bit of rebellion here with some of the actions that you take, and there's also a level of kind of doing things that feels right for you. I don't see that you're wanting to be an individual, but you definitely seem to inspire individuality. You make other people want things for themselves instead of following the status quo. Now, because of this, I do think that you guys have a lot of people that like to check up on you. I don't think that you all have like public platforms, but I think that you have people who like to stalk you, see what you're doing, what you're up to now, and what you look like now as well. The number 34 is hinting at a glow up, some sort of change that has caused further success for you. You may have been through some growing pains recently, and so a lot of people are kind of thinking, you know, about the way that you look now and about the lifestyle that you lead now. There's an energy here of expansion and then stability. Your experiences are what seems to have drawn people towards you as well in the past. And the fact that you're someone who seems to be going places in an exciting way. There is an energy here of you once being quite social, and maybe now you're someone who likes to nest a lot more, who keeps their social circle a lot smaller. So I think that a lot of people from your more social era in life still think about you and are curious about you and check up on you as much as they can, either through word of mouth or through social media. I do think that you have a lot of close people that care about you and think about you quite often. The number 3 is making me think of your family, specifically your siblings, your cousins, and close friends. These people haven't been able to forget you easily, and there's an energy here of like wanting to check up on you and just know that you're okay. So that's what's coming through as well, is you won't be forgotten. You've got a pillar of a community around you. You guys seem to be people who establish very long-lasting connections, and if you're not at that point in life yet, you will be. You will have people who you can really rely on, who you can nest with, who you can feel comfortable with, and who you don't have to feel like it takes a lot of energy being around them. They just feel like home, and you feel like home to them. You feel comfortable around each other, and vice versa. And that's what makes you very unforgettable too. Once people get that close to you, they want that for the rest of their lives. They want that closeness, that connection. So let's get some more oracle cards out. That's pretty much all that I'm seeing. Actually, I'm getting some symbolism coming through as well. So the colors on this card are apparently very intentional for this group. The yellow is making me think of attention grabbing things. That yellow specifically makes me think of LED lights. This may be a part of your aesthetic, or you could have LED lights at home LED strips that you like to control and change the colors of. People may know you to be this type of person. It's also making me think of like a gaming station. So some of y'all, that may be a hobby, or it could be relevant to you or a close loved one. It's also making me think of, with the green over here, mindfulness when it comes to, this is interesting. Usually green makes me think of food and fuel that we feed our bodies, but this is actually coming through as love and the energy that we put out to others. You guys come across as very warm, very caring. I'm even hearing the word approachable for some reason. You guys may be the type of person that strangers like to come up to and communicate to and just sort of talk to and spill their secrets to. For whatever reason, you draw out that side. You come across as very empathetic and patient, even if you're really not. There's some red and it mixes into purple, and this energy in terms of symbolism is making me think of that clothing. The way that you present yourself could be offbeat, but there's something about it that feels aesthetic. Like people like the way that you dress, people like the way that you present yourself, people want to do what you do based on your physical appearance. Red and purple give me really sort of laid back vibes as well. So when people kind of meet you, the first impression that they get is that you're very laid back. There's a part of you that feels very easy going. And I think most people would say from a first impression basis that you're the type of person that would get along with a lot of people. Not because you'd be overly friendly, but just because you're quite easygoing and laid back. Now, the purple to blue is making me think of clarity of mind and clarity of words. So your communication seems to come through very clearly. The way that you communicate is very captivating to people. It's like when you do talk, people listen. But I feel that not all of you communicate a lot, especially in large social settings where you may not know a lot of people. There is an introverted energy here to your nature, and it feels like when you do talk, people listen because they're not used to hearing you speak. On top of that, what you say might come across as being quite profound, insightful, and unique. It may not always be like the most educated or skillful response, but it's like the words that you speak definitely inspire people to think of things, and your objective view on the world or your subjective view on the world is quite thought-provoking, is what I feel. Some of y'all may like deep and meaningful conversations. You may be drawn more towards those kinds of chats, and people notice that. They gravitate towards you because of that. With that being said, we do have some black spots over here in the purple, and that black spot energy makes me think of protection. It makes me think of experiences that have left stains on you, of wisdom, stains of maturity, and stains of, I'm hearing, discernment. So you come across as a cautious person. And this is especially something that you will learn with maturity, with time, if you're a younger soul watching this. I feel like as time goes on, you guys don't mingle with everybody. You protect yourselves from strangers, and you protect yourselves from being too available to other people. You don't want everyone's opinion of you. You don't want to be accessible to everyone, and you want to be very careful about how available you are. So the fact that you are this way gives people the impression of experience and things that you've had to go through. Some people believe that you may be someone who holds grudges or really holds on to things. Others believe that, once bitten, twice shy seems to be a part of your principles and you really learn from these experiences, not necessarily letting it take away the magic, but definitely letting it form a protective layering over you when meeting new people or when reconciling with past people. There is this impression that you may forgive, but you'll never forget. So I do think that this is a principle that maybe people from your past who have hurt you believe you live by, specifically exes or anybody who has caused you pain, trauma, or negative experiences. They believe that they would be the foolish ones to try to step towards you because you don't forget easily. Okay, let's move forward. Spirit, what else makes group 1 unforgettable? What else makes my group 1s unforgettable, please, Spirit? What else makes my group 1s? Okay, from the Psychic, I knew it, Tarot of the Heart Oracle deck, we have the Heart Chakra card coming out for you, and it is reversed. At the back of this deck is the Manifest card. So we're going to keep that off camera, but I will refer to it where necessary. And let's get a card from the Green Witch Oracle deck now. Spirit, what makes group 1 unforgettable? We can see with that Heart Chakra card that we have the number 4 coming back. And we have the 4 here as well. From the Green Witch Oracle deck, you have Refinement, which is the Dahlia card. In this deck, it's also associated with the air element, Scorpio, and the number 42. At the back of this deck, y'all have a flipped card. You have Sweet Corn at the back of this deck, which is the Ritual card. Interesting. Spirit, what card from the Persephone Oracle deck contains the most honest messages for my Group 1's reading? What makes Group 1 unforgettable? There we go. Your card is I Can't Think Clearly Because of Our Chemistry. And this is from the Lulicat Persephone Oracle deck. At the back of this deck is Your Commitment is a Concern. Especially if you have mutable placements like Gemini, Virgo, or Pisces. Some people may think that you just kind of do what you want, you float around, and you like to stay transient in some aspect. That's true. I don't know why I'm not picking up on much Sagittarius. You could have Sagittarius in other aspects of your chart that aren't usually considered your big 3 signs. But mutable signs like Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces are coming through stronger. Spirit, what else can you tell us about Group 1? What makes them unforgettable? Yeah, here it is. Talisman coming through for you from the... What is this deck, Spirit? Oh, it's right next to me. This deck is called the Green Glyphs Oracle. At the back of this deck is the Feather card. Okay, so I chose decks that have a lot of green, but you still got a lot more green than what I was expecting, that's for sure. So it's very interesting how that played out for you especially. Now, what I'm seeing with this bigger picture is the number 4 being very significant to you guys. There is an energy here of balance, harmony, stability. You guys are very grounding, and the people who have the privilege of being in your close circle may often come to you to nest, to feel that feeling of security, to gain a sense of stability, and to really kind of draw upon this grounding energy that you have. You may find yourself in a position where people are expecting you to lead them or to give them some sort of wisdom. Even if you don't have the answers, they come to you feeling a little bit lost or wanting to gain a sense of direction. Now, This 4 energy makes me think that as you get older, you guys are going to operate as safe havens for your close circle. You will give a name out to the next generation of being this haven for them to come to when they feel lost and when they want stability. You have very nurturing qualities that also give a sense of authority. And you hold a very commanding position in your community, not because you rule with an iron fist, but because you seem to be able to lead by example. And as you mature and as others kind of get to see you grow, you're really going to be the prime example of practicing what you preach. People will be drawn towards you because you're someone who's blossomed through experience and gained a lot of wisdom through experience. Now, with that being said, I see you leading very comfortable lifestyles. I believe that you have a home, you will have a home in this lifetime that you're very proud of, even if you move a lot, even if you travel a lot, if you fall in that demographic within this group, you still maintain a sense of stability and security that really draws people in towards you. Outside of that, a lot of people feel drawn to you in an inexplainable way, especially with this card here. I can't think clearly because of our chemistry. That makes me think that for a lot of you, what makes you unforgettable is people feeling drawn towards you, enjoying interactions with you, and feeling like they need more of you. You seem to be able to get along with a lot of people, but you truly operate as a light, as a easygoing person who's a little bit witty and a little bit charming. Even if you don't say much, what you do say seems to really stick with people and seems to give them the impression of a connection being forged, even if the interaction was really short and fleeting. People feel seen by you, people feel appreciated by you, and people feel captivated by you, group 1. I can see with the heart chakra card and this talisman, more energy of protection. What makes you unforgettable is that you are very loving, you are very empathetic, but you don't give that to everybody you meet. You don't open up to everybody you meet. You don't show them that side of you. It takes time. And it takes a level of worthiness that not every Tom, Dick, and Harry possesses. And so I think with the heart chakra card reversed, there is this awareness here of how you are someone who can give so much more if a certain amount of love, respect, and patience is given initially. And that's very attractive to people. This idea that you're a very lovely person, and I think that even if they don't get to witness that intimacy, they can vouch for it. They can say, oh, I've, only interacted with group 1 a few times, but they're a very lovely person. It's clear that they truly look after the people that they're close with, or that they have a close relationship with their friends or their family, etc., etc. There's a lot of people that would vouch for your character. There is an energy here of people who have hurt you again, coming through as finding it hard to forgive themselves for the pain that they've caused you because of your sweetness, because of your kindness, and because of the love that you have. It reflects negatively on them that they've hurt you. And that's what's really coming through with this heart chakra energy reversed, is like, dang, why did I fuck up that bad? Why did I hurt group 1 that badly? There's an element here of guilt and embarrassment over hurting you and causing you pain, and not wanting to admit that, hiding a feeling of shame even. With this refinement card over here, we see more of this theme of the horse and that elegant grace and your movements. There's an energy here of your communication being refined and your actions being refined, as though your thoughts are very quirky or specific, or your communication comes from very interesting angles that offers intrigue and curiosity. The topics that you like to discuss tend to be deep but oddly specific, and so they're often picked apart for hours with the right conversationalists. Like if you have the right people around you, I feel like you could be talking to them in depth for a very long time. If you have deep and meaningful conversations with people, they often think about it for days, if not weeks afterwards. And if these are strangers that you've just met in passing, I feel like you have the tendency to just move on because you've kind of got that depth within you. But these people seem to really hold on to it and go like, wow, that conversation kind of changed me in a way. And that's really what I'm seeing with Dahlia. When I used to be obsessed with dahlias. I really wanted to grow them in my garden. I don't have the best soil for them. Where I live, they do grow well in tropical climates, but you just have to monitor with water, and we get a lot of rain where I live. But in my obsession with them, I realized that they are perennial, in that like they don't bloom all year round. I may be using the wrong word there. They don't bloom all year round. They have a blooming season and then they go dormant. And what this feels like in your reading is that it's those short-term interactions that seem to leave the biggest impact on people. Even if these people have been in your life for years and years and years, it's those intermittent, deep and meaningful conversations that offer huge turning points and fork in the roads of realizations. People truly value your communication, and they value the words of advice and encouragement you offer them. You have a very resounding way of communicating. And sorry to give such a long story short version to that. Let's get some tarot out to close your reading. Is there anything else Group 1 needs to know about the impact they have on those around them? Is there anything else Group 1 needs to know about the impact they have on those around them? Spirit, Group 1. We have the 5 of Pentacles reversed. We have the 9 of Swords. What words of encouragement can Group 1's higher self offer them, Spirit? What words of encouragement can Group 1's higher self offer them? What words of encouragement? Okay, so I'm going to leave your encouragement card to the side for now. Let's talk about your tarot. So your tarot is reflecting the impact that you have on others. This is just other people in general. We'll just see what comes through. First thing I'm noticing is how important Taurus and Mercury are on this card. We didn't get many Taurus themes except for the number 3 and the heart chakra. That always makes me think of the Empress and Taurus. Mercury is Virgo and Gemini, which we did pick up before. We have more Gemini over here, and Mars, which is Aries, and that always makes me think of the number 4 because of the Emperor. Now, with the 5 of Pentacles reversed, the impact that you have on others is essentially encouraging them to grow through uncomfortable changes. A 5 of Pentacles reversed can feel extremely difficult. It can feel like a situation that has happened to you, not for you, as though you've been put in a position of hardship by no choice of your own. It can happen at times where we feel like we've got compound experiences, one after the other, of unfortunate events. You know, a late electricity bill turns into a missed car payment, turns into us having to catch the bus, turns into us showing up late for work, turns into us losing income, turns into us missing more bills. And so it just feels like, you know, we're going through lesson after lesson of hard experiences that affect our lifestyle, our income, and our experience in this earthly world, ultimately guiding us to make big changes to our habits, our lifestyle, and our money. So people seem to be very drawn towards your experiences of hardship. People seem to be very drawn towards what you have to say about the changes you've made to your lifestyle. And people seem to be very curious about how you live your life, what you spend your money on, and how you take care of yourself. There is a lot of curiosity, and there's not a lot of factuality around this. I'm seeing again a close protection around you of people who really know you well, and then a huge community of people who don't know you well but want access to you. Over your lifetime, you will have a lot of acquaintances, friends of friends, people you may know, people who have heard of you but don't know you, who will name drop you or say, yeah, I've heard of group one. They actually used to date my cousin. Or, yeah, we both used to party in the same club back then. Or, yeah, they used to go to the same gym as me. Or, I heard they were dating this person. There's a lot of hearsay in the background, and this isn't coming from a negative point of view. It's coming from an admiration standpoint. There's a lot of curiosity about the way you live and how you look after yourself and what you do on a daily basis. There is also a lot of energy of wanting to be closer to you, and you making it extremely hard for that to be possible. Don't think this is a bad thing. This is just what's coming through. With the Nine of Swords here, this is saying that the impact you leave on people is this energy of leaving them hanging. I think that a lot of people really overthink their interactions with you, especially as you become more refined, more mature. You leave people questioning themselves and going, ugh, could I have said something differently? Could I have done this better? Not because they're necessarily insecure, but because you make people step out of themselves and look at the bigger picture and go, wow, in that interaction, I should have been a little bit more mindful. That's what I'm seeing with the Nine of Swords is I should have been a little bit more mindful. You give people perspective, and sometimes we're not ready for that. So I can see how your energy becomes a little bit more confrontational as you get older. When you're younger, it's probably easier for people to try to kind of project their insecurities onto you and for you to take that on board. But as you get older, as you get more protective of yourself, it's harder for people to do this to you. It's harder for them to pretend that they aren't wanting what you have, or that you don't resemble the successful, more refined version of what they're trying to do. And so either they end up taking this as inspiration, or they take it personally in an attacking way and go into defense mode. Really depends on that individual and their journey and how their mindset and perspective is. But the impact that you have on people is quite profound. And it's very abrasive in the sense of it either makes them project onto you and focus on you instead of themselves, or it makes them hyperfixate on themselves and go, wow, where is this energy coming from? Where is this idea coming from? Where is this jealousy coming from? Or where is this curiosity coming from? Depending on where their mindset is, it's definitely encouraging them to grow and to make changes in their lives. So getting some encouragement from your higher self. This is the heart, what is it called actually? What do we call this? It's by Louise Hay, and I believe it's the heartfelt cards or the heart thought cards. This card says, I create wonderful new beliefs for myself. My consciousness is now being filled with positive thought patterns that contribute to my health, wealth, and loving relationships. I really think that for a lot of you, your higher self is encouraging you to be aware of where you're directing your focus, to be aware of the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you think to yourself, and the way that you stay focused on the things that you want to build for yourself. This is very much an affirmation, and the main focus here is having positive thoughts. I think that at this time that you're seeing this video, especially because we started talking about other people, it's really important that you stay focused on yourself and that you offer yourself that layer of protection to protect your manifestations, to protect your security, your stability, and that beautiful nesting community that you have around you. This affirmation is really about staying on track so that you can have full health, full wealth, and loving relationships. This is a very simple, straightforward, yet effective manifestation and affirmation. And I really encourage you to say this if you are starting to feel a little unlike yourself, if you are starting to feel impacted by other people's energy, and if you are starting to feel restless and insecure, because that is not your journey, my group ones. You're supposed to be very successful, very secure, and very stable. I create wonderful new beliefs for myself. So that is what I'm seeing for you, my group ones. That is what makes you unforgettable. I'm going to go into your extended reading now, where we will have a look at who is remembering you, why they're remembering you, and what is the outcome. There will be a sneak peek of your extended reading that will play after this clip. It's just going to be like 30 seconds to give you a sneak peek of what you're in for. If you would like to join me in your extended reading, and especially if the first part of your reading resonated, the link to your extended reading is in the description box and the pinned comment. That link will take you to my website, Group 1, where I host my extended readings and all the groups for my extended readings. So please make sure you select the right group, the right reading. Remember your Group 1 of the What Makes You Unforgettable reading that I posted in September 2024. What a journey. Thank you so much for all your time, your energy, and your support right here on YouTube, Group 1. It has been an absolute pleasure to connect with you and exchange energy with you. As we part ways, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Until we meet again, bye. It feels like this is someone who you were once pretty close with, though. You had a kinship here. Kindred energy, because they feel like you have a very unique connection. Whether this person is busy, especially for those who are still in separation, this person is remembering you and comparing the connection that they have with you to other people. And what they're noticing is that the connection that they have with you is very unique, it's very different, it's very intimate, and you seemed to get them in a way that those around them don't. Hi my group 2s, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Starborn card or this amethyst gold ring, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome in. I'm going to put your ring up there. We're going to leave your card in the middle for now. We're asking Spirit, what makes you unforgettable? And there is going to be an extended reading as well. Here's briefly what we're covering in the extended. There will be a sneak peek at the end, but I'll bring all of this up at the end as well. It'll be more relevant at the end of your reading. Right here on YouTube, let's get into it. What makes you, the viewer, unforgettable? To be honest, with the Starborn energy here, you guys stand out for all the right reasons. You come across to people as someone that is full of potential. You are someone who is supposed to be noticed. And it could be because of the way that you dress. It could be because of your beauty and the way that you naturally look, or the way that you choose to present yourself through the way that you do your hair and the clothes that you wear. But you definitely stand out. And you stand out as someone who has a star quality about you. This card specifically makes me think that people feel like they've found you at a time that is quite unique and rare, as though you're a little bit vulnerable. You may have a following, or you may be someone who's in the public eye in some way. And when people see you out in public, they get the impression that they're seeing you under unique circumstances, as though it's quite rare to have the opportunity to interact with you, and they're only getting a fraction of who you truly are in that interaction. If you don't resonate as somebody famous, You do come across as somebody who has layers to you, and people feel like they're only getting a fraction of who you truly are. With this starborn energy being here, you are coming across as someone who has a lot more to offer than what you let on. You're also coming across as somebody who seems to be aging or developing in a way where you're getting better with time. I'm hearing like fine wine, you get better with time. And so people know that if they don't get to see all of you, then what they do see is not the best version of you. Even if they feel like they got to see something really good, they still didn't get to see you in your final form as your most evolved self. Now, the zodiac sign that this makes me think of is Aquarius. Whether it's an Aquarius sun, it could actually be other placements in your chart where Aquarius is found. But I can see with Starborn showing up here that you guys have this energy of making a big impact on people. And most of the time they don't seem to communicate that with you. Most of the time they don't actually discuss or communicate how much of an impact you make and how profound your presence is, if not at making people feel a little starstruck, at inspiring people, making people feel a little hopeful. There's something about you that garners a lot of attention in public spaces. Now, you may be someone who's prone to disappearing from time to time. Even if you have a public platform, you may not always like to put yourself out there on social media or in public spaces. And this seems to create more of an intrigue and a mystique around you. There's a lot of people who will want to keep up with you, group 2. There's a lot of people that are drawn to your talents and your skills. And there's a lot of people that are curious about what the future holds for someone like you as well. At this point, I do want to pull out some more cards to have a deeper look at what makes you unforgettable. So we're going to start with my Psychic Tarot of the Heart Oracle deck. Spirit, what makes group 2 unforgettable? We have the 5 of Cups, change your focus. The back of the deck is manifest. What makes group 2 unforgettable, please, Spirit? What makes group 2 unforgettable, please, Spirit? What makes group 2 unforgettable? Okay. From the Green Witch Oracle deck, you have Tranquility, which is also the violet card in this deck. And we have the air element, the number 43, Pisces, and a candle. What makes group 2 unforgettable, please, Spirit? Okay, from the Green Glyphs Oracle deck, you guys have the Morning Glory card. I will do it this way, actually. And at the back of that deck, you also have the Mites card. Interesting. And last deck. Oh, I just dropped the cards. Okay, Spirit, what makes group 2 unforgettable? Okay, from the Persephone Oracle deck by Luli Cat, we have, I am open to the possibility that you might love me back. Interesting. A lot of green. I did use a lot of green decks though, to be fair. After all that shuffling, I'm just going to take a minute to tune in and wipe my nose because it's starting to drip, which does happen a lot when I channel. Spirit, tune me into Group 2's energy. What makes Group 2 unforgettable? Okay, so I'm being drawn towards the number progression here. We have 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3. There is this energy here of movement and evolution. And I feel it happening quite rapidly. People assume that you're somebody who is full of, I mean, the words keep coming back, full of potential. There's so much coming through. I need to like pinpoint it. I might start over here. Okay, so the first thing that's coming through with this card is a feeling of shifting emotions. You guys are very captivating, and for some reason most of the viewpoint and perspective that's coming through is from a stranger's point of view, as though the people that find you unforgettable are complete strangers, people who like barely know you, who shouldn't be thinking about you and who shouldn't almost be obsessed with you. But with this 5 of Cups here, what makes you unforgettable is the fact that you're so indifferent. You don't seem to be focused on the noise. You don't seem to project the internal onto your external. Y'all come across as people who could be going through it, like really going through it, experiencing challenges, hardship, but you don't show that. You're very calm on the surface, and people are very drawn to the fact that you don't get distracted easily, or you don't seem to feed into the attention that you get. You come across as a little bit aloof and a little bit cold in public spaces. People that love you and know you well see you as a very emotionally resilient person. You're very emotionally strong, to the point where they feel like you kind of don't always open up about what you're going through, and they feel like you don't always communicate honestly how you feel. You sometimes swallow hard feelings and just sort of focus on the tasks at hand, and you're somebody who seems to be very internal and private. So whether people know you well or not at all, there is a moment, an energy here with the Morning Glory of only having a moment with you, of only having you for a moment. Like you're here now, but you could be gone tomorrow. And for that reason, you're very captivating. A lot of people just want their 15 minutes with you. The Morning Glory, in my opinion, is a very interesting energy to pull as an unforgettable card, because it's like people know that they're not going to have long with you, and that's what makes you special. Over here with the violet energy, I do think that another aspect that makes you very unforgettable is almost this mystery that seems to be around you. Again, you have a peaceful facade, you have a peaceful sort of demeanor externally, and yet there is this acknowledgement that you are incredibly deep, and that you have these layers of mystery. You may not think that you're a very complex person, but you come across as someone that has a lot of depth, and complete strangers seem to spend a lot of time trying to figure you out, trying to win you over in a way. And I can see with this violet energy that you have some admirers who honestly hold a flame for you. People seem to be obsessive about their thoughts of you, and you seem to have people who have had
'd-" long-term crushes on you, my group 2.
long-term crushes on you, my group 2. 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 My group Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out where this is going. Just listening and tuning in. Long-term crushes about what, Spirit? You guys may like to change your appearance from time to time. You may get experimental with the way that you dress, the way that you present yourself, what you choose to put out online. You may feel like you live in the same clothes, but there's something about your public appearance that seems to change. It could even be your hairstyle, your jewelry, your aesthetic. People really enjoy watching the evolution. And I think that that's what makes you kind of mysterious as well, is like, I'm not getting a lot. As someone who, like, through the perspective of someone who's trying to observe you and obsess over you, you don't give a lot. I'm getting that people seem to latch onto what is available to them when it comes to you. They really latch onto the aspects of you that are public. There's a part of you that seems to have really healing properties as well with this energy here. A part of the conversations that you have with people seem to be very healing because you're not afraid to go deep. You're not afraid to kind of peel back the layers of small talk and discuss complex issues that include trauma, healing, addiction, self-sabotaging, coping mechanisms, vices. You guys may have had a history of running in circles where a lot of addictive behaviors were being used as coping mechanisms for trauma and unresolved healing. And I think that people find it very easy opening up with you, whether you resonate as someone who's a part of that journey or not. There is this awareness of you bringing a lot of peace and acceptance. I feel like the people whose lives you've impacted feel incredibly grateful for the exchange of energy that you've given, because you have healing properties within your soul, and they recognize that it's not your responsibility, but it is their blessing to be able to receive that level of even just insight, let alone help. We're going to move on to this card now. On this card, we see, I'm open to the possibility that you might love me back. I'm getting a lot of unrequited love from that card. Not to the point where that's the main message, but it's the primary message that wants to come through first. You have people who seem to get attracted to you, group 2, and they seem to be very drawn towards your beauty, your mystery, your, I want to say individuality, your star quality. But I feel like people often get the wrong impression of you. I feel like people see you the way that they want to see you, on a pedestal with idealized rose-colored glasses that project their own beliefs, goals, and aspirations onto you. I feel like the reality of who you are is very different. Not to say that you're not this wonderful person, but I think that you may often feel burdened by these grandiose visions that people have for you, of you. And because of that, a lot of people are very disconnected from the real you. And that's where these unrequited love situations seem to come from as well. That's not the only reason it happens. I do think that you're very attractive, but you're not completely accessible. I think that people can become intrigued without getting to know you, which leads to a dead end of attraction. But I also think that you're somebody who kind of leaves enough mystery for people's minds to overthink and overassume, which is also what makes people attracted to you. I'm hearing that a lot of people kind of discuss their attraction for you amongst themselves, which tells me that there's something about your physicality that is quite standardized. Like, not to diminish your quality, but you come across as a popular person or somebody who is considered beautiful by many standards. I hope that sounds better. It's like if a whole group of people, let's say 10 people, were to observe you, majority of them would say group 2 is attractive. Whether you mean to or not, you seem to have that air of, like, again, star quality. Now, I do honestly think that a lot of people don't get the most honest, clear impression of you. So if I'm saying anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, don't take it personally. Don't take it as, well, that's how I am. No. This reading is having a look at the point of view of those who find you unforgettable. And we're having a look at what makes you unforgettable to them. So it doesn't have to be your truth. It's just those people's opinions. And at the end of the day, although we're entitled to opinions, if it's something as personal as you don't have to take that on board. So if any of this is uncomfortable, unsettling, or just not helpful, tune out and please take care of yourself first and foremost. So that's really what I'm seeing. I'm just going to shuffle some cards to see if there's anything else that I'm missing with tarot. Spirit, is there anything else that my group 2s need to know about what makes them unforgettable? Is there anything else that my group 2s need to know? About what makes them unforgettable? Okay, we have the 7 of Cups reversed. I'll get one more card. Is that in frame? Yeah. And we have the Hierophant. Okay. So, having a look at that 7, we have the King of Wands at the back of the deck as well. Having a look at that 7 of Cups reversed, the other message Spirit has for you is that the way that the world views you can be an aspect of what makes you successful in life, and it can be something that you can use to your advantage, but it should never, ever, ever be the only thing that defines you. You are far more than your physical appearance. And I think that there will come a point in your life where you have to recenter the way that you look at yourself, the way that you value yourself, and the way that you care for yourself, because you may have become reliant upon ways that you've been viewed and getting opportunities based on how you're being viewed. The words pretty privilege are coming up, but I think it's a lot bigger than that. I think that you guys may have a career in life, or maybe a part of a community at a certain stage in your life that puts a heavy emphasis on appearance and on looking a certain way with this Venusian energy. As you go through changes that are completely natural, like the process of aging, like the changing of a relationship, the changing of a living situation, the importance of the external is going to shift. And your experiences with being a part of those communities or opportunities is going to push you to want deeper, to want to connect with people on a deeper level. And that's where we see you entering a very private stage in your life, where you almost get a humanitarian streak. It's likely that you will have a chapter in your life where you just don't want to be seen, where you're sick of being so viewed or ogled. I see you turning your experiences into opportunities to connect deeper with either people in similar situations or people who are less fortunate than you. What you need to know is you will have many different opportunities in life to show you how valuable, talented, and resourceful you can be that are much more than how you look in the eyes of other people. That's the main message there with that Seven of Cups. With the Hierophant here and in the reverse position, this card is saying that there's something about you that is not supposed to fit in. You're not supposed to be everybody's cup of tea. You're not supposed to be someone who does things the way that the average person does. You are a larger than life energy. And at times that means that it can be uncomfortable because you feel like you don't quite fit in. This can feel like black sheep energy or like an outcast energy, the odd one out type of energy. But what it also means is that you have to find your sense of connection outside of the usual status quo. You guys may find your sense of community in very unconventional places. You may find your sense of comfort and peace outside of the typical places where you would experience that. An example that's coming through is you guys may not feel familial bonds with your blood relatives. You may create your family through experiences in life. You guys may not do well in traditional learning environments, but you may create a wealth of knowledge through your experiences in life. And you may not necessarily follow a traditional path when it comes to success, but I really believe that you'll be very successful in life. It doesn't seem to happen in a typical, standardized, traditional way, but that doesn't mean it's not meant to happen. And that's why we have the King of Wands at the bottom. It's our optimistic indicator that you are someone who can achieve what you put your mind to. You're also someone who's meant to expand and grow beyond other people's limitations. The King of Wands is a very ambitious, passionate, creative, resourceful person, and it resembles an energy that doesn't take no for an answer. The King of Wands is a lot more relentless and a little less patient than the other kings. This is the type of energy that isn't afraid to take initiative, that isn't afraid to be assertive, and that never loses their sense of purpose and passion. And so really, ultimately, at the end of the day, regardless of what people think of you, that is the focus of this reading. I think that's the main message that Spirit wants to leave you with, although I will pull another card, is to follow on that, is to focus on that sense of passion and purpose. Okay, Spirit, what message does Group 2's higher self have for them before we go into the extended reading? What message does Group 2's higher self have for them? That is so cute. Okay, so before I read your card, after this we will be going into the extended reading where we will have a look at who is remembering you, why, what is the outcome, and we're also going to show you like a little sneak peek of what your extended reading is going to look like after this clip. So you just got to keep watching to see that sneak peek. Now, if the first part of your reading has resonated and you want those additional messages, the extended reading is also a wonderful way to support me and this community so that I can keep doing what I do for you. Then that link to your extended reading is in the description box and the pinned comment. Heads up, that link does take you to a page where I host each group's extended readings. So please make sure you click on the right group. Remember your group 2 of the What Makes You Unforgettable reading that I posted in September 2024. Now your last card is from your higher self, and it says, I am pure spirit. Not just pure spirit. I recognize the true beauty of my being. I am the spirit of love shining brightly. And that's what Aquarius energy can feel like. Whether you are an Aquarius or not, that's what feeling like a black sheep can feel like. And feeling like an outcast can feel like. This is a powerful affirmation to help you feel more comfortable in your own skin, more at peace with the things you cannot change, and more aware of the true beauty that you possess. I am pure spirit. I recognize the true beauty of my being. I am the spirit of love shining brightly. That is what I'm seeing for you, group ones. If you're joining me in that extended reading, click the link and I will see you right there. If this is where we're parting ways, I just want you to know that I truly appreciate all the time and energy and support you offer right here on YouTube. Thank you so much, group 2, for this energy exchange. It's been a pleasure to read for you today. I wish you so much peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Before you go, I just want to say a little prayer to Archangel Gabriel to protect you, to look after you, to nurture you, and to encourage you to trust your heart space as it guides you at this point in your journey. Thank you again for your time. Until we meet again. Bye. Looking at this symbolism, I feel like this is someone who's in their own little world, group 2. Like they're not really listening to you right now, or they're not really engaging with you. What is this over here? And this is the type of energy that when it is thinking about others, it's very empathetic, it's very understanding, it's very attentive. So in their shadows, they can be very distrusting. But the goal is to share the love. This person has been thinking about you and remembering you because they enjoy the way that you make them feel. They remember the positives, and your separation. Hi group 3, and welcome to your reading. If you chose this amber silver ring or the stone card in the Wild Unknown Oracle deck, then this is going to be your reading with me. We're asking Spirit, what makes you unforgettable? There is going to be an extended reading as well, and in your extended we'll focus more on who is remembering you, why, and what is the outcome. There'll be a sneak peek after your YouTube reading. It'll be about 30 seconds to a minute, and it'll play right after this, so stay tuned if that's intriguing. But to get there, we do have to start here. So let's break your energy down, delving deeper into your group 3 energy. Now's your last chance to get something to take notes with, because I'm pretty much ready to channel, sweet souls. So first of all, this stone energy is very intriguing to me. We see a complexity of shapes here all within each other, which makes me think that you're somebody that has a lot of different facets to you, and people who get to see those different facets feel either very privileged or just very aware of the beautiful complementary nature that you have. It feels like for the triangle to be outside, there is an energy here of you being very perceptive, very well spoken. There's a part of you that comes across as very easy to talk to, easy to approach. And I feel like in a first impression standpoint, what you say seems to be really well received for the most part. I honestly think that because we have this square inside that, when people get to know you better, they start to see why you are the way that you are. There's something about your personality that comes across as very straightforward, but people who know you well know that there is a softer side to you that you keep reserved for those who are closer. The softer side to you seems to be very separate from the image that strangers get. The people that seem to find you unforgettable are people who have had really positive interactions with you. You guys may resonate as people that communicate with people a lot for work, and I feel like you come across as witty, intelligent, funny, and easy to kind of talk to. You keep conversation flowing is the main energy that I'm feeling. But at your core, the people that know you well see you as someone who can be more reserved, who can be more kind of cut off. and who likes to kind of be alone. The circle inside these hard edge shapes makes me think that there's a part of you that is very self-contained, that likes to isolate, that likes to bed rot, that likes to just indulge. And when you tune everything out, you really do so with the intention of recharging. Some of you could lead very active lifestyles, and others of you are just leading very busy routines from time to time. That means that when you do recharge, you're shutting everything else out. Now I'm going to pull out some more oracle cards because I want to get an accurate reading on your complex nature. So let's have a look. We'll start with this oracle deck. This is the Psychic Tarot for the Heart oracle deck. And I want to point out that the stone card is the number 67. So that number could be significant. Spirit, what makes group 3 unforgettable? What makes group 3 unforgettable? We have the Heal card coming out for you, which is the Star card in this deck. At the back of this deck is Open Up, which is the Four of Pentacles reversed. What makes group 3 unforgettable, please, Spirit? What makes group 3 unforgettable? What makes group 3 unforgettable? Unforgettable. Okay. We have Purification, which is the Snapdragon card in the reverse position. In this deck, it's also connected to the air element, Gemini, the number 41. We have a vial over here that seems to have a liquid in it. And at the back of this deck, which is the Green Witch Oracle deck, we have the Onion card, which is the protection card. Number 9, Aries, and the earth sign or earth symbol in terms of the earth element is on that card. 2 more decks. Spirit, what makes group 3 unforgettable? Okay. This is the Persephone Oracle deck by Luli Cat. We have no one will understand what we are to each other. Yeah, you have a way of really captivating somebody's attention when they talk to you. People find it really hard to forget you. You make people's day. You make people feel important when they interact with you. Spirit, what makes group 3 unforgettable? Okay, we're going to take the Snail card, and this is the Green Glyph Oracle deck. At the back of the Green Glyph Oracle deck is the Portal card, a fairy portal. Interesting. You guys seem to be really refreshing. People really enjoy seeing you, interacting with you, communicating with you. You have a refreshing aura, a refreshing energy, and you come across as someone who is like, kind of like breaks people out of the mundane when they interact with you, especially if you work in customer service. The interactions that people have with you helps them feel different, helps them break out of the boring, small talk or the mundane interactions, the little interactions and experiences. You kind of help ground people and kind of bring them back into feeling like an individual, feeling like a main character. You help people feel special and important and seen. And there's a part of you that brings out introverted people. You may enjoy it. You guys may be someone who compliments a lot of people. You may be someone who is, very communicative. So you kind of have a way of bringing out introverted personalities and people who usually shut down and are reserved. You guys also come across as people who see unique qualities in others. and you have a way of kind of drawing out a person's individuality in a way that makes them feel really confident in themselves. Really, there's almost like this feeling of like you putting people on pedestals and them like feeling a boost, walking away from their interactions with you smiling. Now the snail energy is really interesting. We see that swirl replicating the shell, but there's also a swirl on the portal card. So I honestly think that if you want to, if you really turn on your charm, your charisma, like you have people wrapped around your finger, group 3. You have a certain charm to you. You could have Libra placements or Gemini placements. Even Aquarius is here. This air sign charm where when you get your banter going, or when you really like turn on your personality. You guys may be fake extroverts though. Like you're not as extroverted as you come across. You're actually very singular people who prefer to kind of be alone from time to time. But there's an extroverted energy about you in a public space that makes you unforgettable. And you have this ability with the snail energy being here to kind of like pull people in and captivate their attention. The snail energy is also referencing slow, patience. So there's almost a part of you that people gravitate towards. And if you frequent a specific area in a public space, I think that you have a lot of admirers of people who don't necessarily get the privilege or the pleasure to meet you personally, but they get to kind of watch you over time, and they've watched you kind of in a consistent enough way that feels very beautiful. It feels like they've slowly watched you over the years grow, or they've slowly watched you over the years become more independent. Whatever it is, there's this energy of like people being able to watch you. You guys come across as a reliable, consistent character in some of these viewers' eyes. And they get this, that's why it's hard for them to forget about you, because you are consistent and their view of you is consistent as well. Now, purification reversed is interesting. It's giving me the impression that even if you're having a bad day, you don't project that onto others. You don't put it out there to the point where you're like pushing it onto other people, and to the point where you're like pushing other people away. But at the same time, there's a part of you that talks about things so openly that it's very refreshing. If you are having a bad day, you might not hide it, but you don't let your bad mood affect what you're doing. And so that's why purification feels like it's here, because we see the emotion having a way out, but it doesn't destroy the interaction. It feels very refreshing. It feels very authentic. And it feels like it's very much a boost to the way that people see you. Because again, it contributes to this authentic being seen energy. Now, I do think that for Snapdragon to be here, there's an element here of your conversations being very like free speech. So people find you unforgettable because of the things that you talk about and because of the way that you address them. The conversations that you have feel personified. They don't feel like boring or mundane or just sort of like small talk that you could say to anybody. You kind of point things out, or you have very specific interactions with people, very to the point interactions with people. And again, that's what makes people feel seen, feel heard. A lot of people believe that they get to see, like you may be the kind of person that a lot of people feel like they're your friend. Like a lot of people feel like they're your best friend, my group 3s. Like they know you better than anybody else. When actually this is how you are with everybody. You could be someone who a lot of people know, or who a lot of people have like a connection with, as in like you may have a lot of acquaintances, or you're in a position where you meet a lot of people, and so they get this impression that they have a friendship with you. But I really don't think that's the case. I think you keep the true aspect of who you are very hidden. But there's a part of you that feels very reliable, very consistent, very secure in these people's lives. As though like complete strangers feel confident that a Tuesday morning, 7 p.m., you're going to be there. You know, like whatever it is, it feels consistent, it feels reliable. There is an aspect of you that feels healing too, with the heal card and purification here. But healing in like a soothing way. Like it could be because of the things you talk about or the way that you present yourself. You come across as someone very authentic, very straightforward. But I also think that it's the consistency that makes you feel healing. The fact that people can depend upon you to be in certain places is what feels very healing. What else, Spirit? I'm just going to talk about the numbers again because I don't know if I did that. So obviously 67 here, 17 here, 41. I'm also seeing the number 3 and the number 11. I'm going to pull some tarot now. Spirit, what else can you tell us about my viewer? What makes them unforgettable? What makes my viewer unforgettable, Spirit? Yeah, in terms of your appearance, I feel like you guys may do something very unique with your look that helps you stand out. You may look the same way. You know, you may like have a unique look as in not a lot of people do what you do, but you may do that every day. Like that's your comfort appearance. Okay, in terms of tarot, we have the 5 of Pentacles at the back of the deck. This is strong. Well, we have Mercury and Taurus on that card. We also have the Knight of Cups, Aquarius and Pisces. The 9 of Cups reversed. The King of Pentacles reversed. So we have Pisces and Jupiter here. We have Taurus and Aries on the King of Pentacles. And with the Magician card reversed, we have Mercury, which is more Gemini, but also Virgo. Jupiter is mostly Pisces and Sagittarius. Interesting. So I'm seeing a lot of Pisces, and I'm seeing a lot of Taurus. Technically, Gemini is really, really, really here because it was on the purification card. And Aquarius was here on the heal card. That's the star card in a conventional tarot deck. Okay, so looking at tarot, we can see a little bit more of a picture being painted about the way that you make people feel. The 2 emotions cards over here, the 2 cups cards, tell me that a big part of what makes you unforgettable is the fact of like the way that you approach people. With the Knight of Cups being here, there's an energy of you approaching people in a really like warm way. Again, like a really open-hearted, sincere, friendly, soft, not always soft, but like I want to say authentic way. You guys may wear your heart on your sleeve a little bit with strangers or with the people that you choose to interact with. And there's something really personable, like it's very, personal. The way that you communicate with people, you really make like strong eye contact, or you may really like pull people towards you. You may be a hugger, or you may be someone who like takes notice of what people are wearing. You may make comments on people's, clothing or hairstyles that are coming across as compliments. There's a way that you communicate that makes people feel very like, again, seen. I feel like I'm just repeating myself now. With the 9 of Cups reversed, you guys come across as people who are really like selfless. You have a lot of love to give to others, and you come across as someone who's kind of always pushing yourself. Like when it comes to emotions, you're always extending yourself. And you may be that person who like takes on an extra shift at work and complains about it. But at the end of the day, people see you as being very selfless. Like, yes, you're getting paid to do it, but you're doing it because somebody else couldn't. So you are coming across as a dependable person, someone who others ask favors of. And it's very obvious that you are someone that cares deeply at your own expense. Because of that, there is an energy here of you sometimes self-sacrificing, taking on too much, and ultimately being somebody that others manipulate for better or for worse. This does make you unforgettable because people get to see you as a soft person who almost needs to be protected. Now, with the King of Pentacles reversed, there's an aspect of your energy that feels reliable but impermanent. And so what makes you unforgettable is the fact that you have things that you want to do that you haven't been able to do yet. And I feel like you're someone who people expect to see great things, but they just kind of like question the process. You may communicate some of your dreams, your goals, and your aspirations. And over time, people are seeing that like there's a lot of time that you put into other areas of your life instead of this specific area of your life. And I think it makes you unforgettable because people expect you to be elsewhere than where they see you. They feel like you're a big fish in a small pond. Like you're someone who is destined for bigger things, and yet here you are in front of them in the middle of a small box store or a big box store, you know, like people expect to see someone like you in different places. You physically don't look like you fit where you do, and there's a part of that that feels rare in their interactions with you. They also see you as someone who's potentially overqualified, especially within a work sense. You guys may be overqualified for what you do. People acknowledge that, recognize that, and that's part of what makes you unique to them as well. Now over here with the Magician card reversed, I feel like this is really playing into that communication again. You guys could be salesmen, you know, the kind of people that like set up in the middle of stores and kind of talk to people and provoke them to buy into whatever they're selling. You have a way with words, that's for sure. And what makes you unforgettable is a part of the communication that I've been talking about, as well as the little things that you seem to be able to bring into people's awareness. There is an energy here of you being able to see things that other people miss, of you being very detail orientated, of you having very interesting ways of communicating, like your language, the language that you use could be very provocative or very like intriguing. And on top of that, there's an energy here of you being intelligent and charming, as well as just funny. Like you guys make people laugh, and that's what they remember. You say things that people like repeat to others as well. So whether it's a joke or whether it's like information, people leave their interaction with you and share what they've learned with other people. And so that's what makes you unforgettable as well. Now in your extended reading, I'm going to pull one more card for you, but we're going to have a look at who is remembering you right now and why, as well as what is the outcome of this person remembering you. I'm going to play a sneak peek of your extended at the end of your reading here on YouTube, just to see if it is something that you could be interested in. But to close your reading on YouTube, I'm going to pull a card from your higher self, which can act as an affirmation. If you found this reading, it likely found you at a time where you were either looking for something entertaining and fun to do because you had free time, or because you were curious and you were wondering what other people think about you. So this affirmation should help tie everything together to connect you more with your image of yourself, regardless of what others think. Spirit, what does Group 3's higher self want to say to them? Okay. We have, I am on an ever-changing journey. My life is never stuck or static or stale. For each moment is new and fresh. Every ending is a new point of beginning. And I do feel like this could be a powerful journaling topic, a powerful self-reflection topic. It is supposed to be like an affirmation, but I honestly think that there's a part of this that could be, reflected upon, because you feel like someone who's outgrown your circumstances. And so by speaking these words into reality, you're allowing yourself to see that you deserve the new and fresh, and that you do have new beginnings waiting for you around the corner. I'm on an ever-changing journey. My life is never stuck or static or stale, for each moment is new and fresh. Every ending is a new beginning. That's what I'm seeing for you, my group 3s. That's where I'm going to leave your YouTube reading. If you would like to join me in your extended, the link is in the description box as well as the pinned comment. That link does take you to my website, a page on my website where I host each group's extended readings. Each group is sold or rented separately. So please double check, triple check before you spend any money. Make sure that you've selected the right group. Remember your group 3 of my What Makes You Unforgettable reading that I posted on YouTube in September 2024. It's been a pleasure to read for you, group 3. If this is where we're parting ways, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Until we meet again, bye. Outdoors person, or there's someone that always likes to keep busy. They also come across as somebody who could have a trade or could work in the trade industry. Blue collar is what comes to mind. I'm even hearing that they could be studying now. They may be the type of person that says, oh, I read this online, or I read this there, or I once read this, and then they share like what they've learned. Now, with this mantle energy, they hold you up to a high standard, and they hold themselves to a high standard in comparison. This person believes that they could be doing more for you. They should be doing more for the connection. This person could be assuming the worst when it comes to the sexual energy in your connection, and maybe wanting to get on the same page about where you stand. Ultimately, when the sacral chakra is reversed, it indicates that your energies are blocked. This chakra always makes me think of the word flow because it resembles water. Hi, my group 4s, and welcome to your reading. If you recognize the shadow card or this beautiful gold crown ring, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome. We're asking Spirit, what makes you unforgettable? And this oracle card here does hold the key to the start of your reading, but I will be pulling more cards afterwards as well, and there is going to be an extended reading after that. So before we get into it, before I start channeling, I highly recommend that you take something, that you use something to take notes with, and write down what does resonate. Make a little list of what doesn't resonate right now, as it may resonate at a later date. With all of that being said, let's get into it. Spirit, tune me into my group 4's energy, please, so that I may offer group 4 the most clear, honest messages about their reading. Group 4. Okay. So when I think of the shadow, the first thing that comes to mind is the number 28. And then I also feel like this energy around you is a bit enigmatic. Other groups got this message of like a mysterious energy about them, but yours feels a lot more relatable. You may find that a lot of people project fantasy onto you, or that a lot of people assume things about you, because it almost feels like people get an idea about you that isn't correct. They see you the way they want to see you. But what makes you unforgettable is this energy that you have that really draws people towards you. So the shadow energy can sometimes be a shyer energy. It can mean that you guys don't like to be seen. You don't like to reveal yourself or show your true self. Some of you may have an ulterior version of you, not an ulterior, but an alternative version of you that others see more than the authentic version of you. But I also feel like some of you are like the wallflowers. You don't like to be up front and center. You don't like to be the loudest people in the room. You kind of hang back. You stick to the shadows. And that's kind of what draws a select group of people around you. The people that find you unforgettable are the people that want to know more about you. They want to understand why you are the way that you are. And they want more of you. They want to have a better understanding of who you are. I'm going to have to shuffle more oracle cards because your energy feels a little bit more complex than the other groups, for example. So let's channel some more messages, starting with my Psychic Tarot of the Heart Oracle deck by John Holland. Spirit, for my group 4s, what makes them unforgettable? What makes group 4 unforgettable, Spirit? Okay, we have base chakra coming out first. Okay, what makes group 4 unforgettable? What makes group 4 unforgettable, Spirit? Okay. From the Green Witch Oracle deck, you guys have the Pansy card, which is also attraction. It has the air element. It has this symbol, which is attached to some sort of chain. And we have Libra, the number 34 as well. 34 is the number 7 when we add it together. Is the number 7? Yeah, okay. I didn't know if I said the right number. All right, Spirit. What makes group 4 unforgettable? Oh, wow. We have I Haven't Kissed You Yet from the Persephone Oracle deck by Luli Cat Tarot. Wow. Actually, we're going to put it over here where there's a bit more room. And I have one more deck. We're going to use my Green Glyphs Oracle deck. Spirit, what makes group 4 unforgettable? What makes group 4 unforgettable? Okay, we have the Spoon card coming out for you, and it is in the reverse position. Interesting. Alrighty, I think I have enough, so I think we're gonna get into it. I might try center this a little bit more. That's a little bit better. Okay. So, first thing that I'm noticing is how important the number 4 is. We have 4 petals on the base chakra, and we have the number 34. This makes me think that you're somebody who comes across as stable, as though you have a strong sense of self, and you also come across, now this may not be how you feel about yourself, but this is how the people who find you unforgettable perceive you. You come across as somebody who is safe, someone who has a sense of security, someone who has a sense of identity, someone who has strength in their foundation. You have a strong set of values. You're someone that other people perceive as reliable. You're someone that other people perceive as a protector. And you're somebody who these people perceive as a loyal, committed person. You come across as someone safe. And what makes you unforgettable is that this all just seems to be the cornerstone. It's the base note. It's not the full glance at who you are. The people who are intrigued by you, who can't stop thinking of you, always are left with just a taste of you. They don't get to see much more than this initial image. Your first impression is quite strong, and a lot of people feel like they kind of know where to place you after they meet you. But the people who can't stop thinking about you are the ones that know that there is more to you than meets the eye. They know that there is more there, and they're also the ones that want more of what you have to offer. You're perceived to be someone quite charming, and you come across as somebody quite intelligent as well with this attraction card. You come across as somebody who knows how to use their body language as well as their words, their charisma, in order to get what they want. And you guys may do things or say things specifically to come across as funny. Although people know that your sense of humor diminishes the intelligence that you possess, the ones that find you unforgettable know that there's more depth to you, there's more wisdom to you, there's more going on in your brain. But you may reduce yourself to a very thin, sort of surface level interaction in public spaces. People do see you as someone that's quite fair, quite balanced, and the people that find you unforgettable are usually people who are also attracted to you physically. They find your physical body and your image attractive. They also find the aspects of your personality attractive. There is an energy here of the people who find you unforgettable seeing you as someone who would be a wonderful partner or someone who would be a great friend. Either or, these are people who believe they can match your energy. The people who find you unforgettable are the people who feel like they've made a good rapport with you, who feel like the two of you really hit it off and you had a connection. I do feel like some people assume things about you. I don't think that everybody who finds you unforgettable has truly had the chance to peel back your layers and see you for who you truly are. And that's mostly because of these two cards at the end here. I can see that what makes you unforgettable is the fact that people seem to get attached to the potential of what a connection with you could be like. I haven't kissed you yet. It leaves a lot of assumptions. It kind of assumes that the opportunity to kiss you is going to happen, and it assumes that that's something that you would want as well. And that card tells me that a lot of people are drawn to you because they want things out of you. But what they find unforgettable about you is that you don't give yourself easily. You're not someone who is open to everybody. And from what I'm seeing, you may prefer to keep to yourself. You may make it really hard for people to get close to you. And you may have to, build a sense of rapport or friendship with people before they're allowed to pursue you romantically. I'm also seeing that you're someone who's quite down the line. It's very black and white with you. And if someone tries to dance in the gray and confuse you, you don't tolerate that. You don't like to be played games with, and you don't like to feel uncertain about what somebody thinks of you or how they feel of you. And so when someone makes you feel that way, you distance yourself. And that's why I think if a love interest was to play games with you, you would find yourself emotionally distancing yourself from them, and they would find themselves missing the opportunity to get close to you. With the spoon energy reversed, this is the opposite of having everything handed to you. This is about you having to really take what is yours and knowing when to hold back instead of giving. Again, you give this assumption that you're very careful with what you share and with what you show. And in a public setting, when people are just getting to know you or when they've just met you, there is this awareness of you not being a completely open book. not giving it all away too soon. In fact, you may be very good at drawing vulnerability out of other people, but you may be very careful about opening up towards others. I do believe that the Spoon card reversed is also an assumption made by those who find you unforgettable, and they assume that you're somebody who had to really fight for what you have. Life wasn't given to you. Things weren't just handed to you on a silver platter, on a silver spoon. You had to create these things for yourself. You put a lot of effort, time, blood, sweat, and tears into cultivating the life that you lead, the lifestyle that you lead. People may assume that you don't have a lot, in terms of you may live in quite a humble way, or you may not have a great deal of wealth about you, but they assume that you're comfortable and that you have what you need. People assume that you are someone who isn't too worried about the finer things in life, but that doesn't stop you from... See, this is interesting. This is where the story splits, because there's some people who know enough about you to know that despite not having these luxuries, you live quite well. I feel like this is all assumptions, because it's getting very wishy-washy. It started off like a strong message, and now it's like spirits intervening and going, oh, that's not accurate. So I feel like people assume that you lead a comfortable lifestyle and that you're humble and that you're also dependable. People assume that you're willing and able to help those in need. People may assume you're congenial and friendly. There's an energy here of assuming that you're always willing to help. But I'm kind of getting an energy of you that's just like, leave me alone. Like, I'm not here to serve you. Leave me alone. So that could be an assumption, because it doesn't feel right the deeper that I got into that message. What else, Spirit? I might pull some tarot for you just to get more specific and straight to the point. What makes group 4 unforgettable, Spirit? Now I know why the number 4 is so significant for you, because you're group 4 as well. Okay, speaking of 4, we just had the 4 of Pentacles come out reversed. There is a card on the ground. I'm just going to pick it up. Okay, the card on the ground is the 9 of Cups reversed. Okay. Spirit, what makes group 4 unforgettable? What makes group 4 unforgettable? We have the 8 of Pentacles, and they are showing me the High Priestess as well. At the back of the deck is the 10 of Swords reversed. I don't know why, but people have this assumption of you. So the message that I got with the 10 of Swords reversed was that, like, I feel like people underestimate you. I feel like people may see you as more innocent than what you truly are. And what people find unforgettable about you is the questions. There's a lot of curiosity after an interaction with you. You guys may say things, but you don't finish your sentence, or you may allude to things. It's like you keep people hanging. There's a bigger conversation there, but instead of talking openly, you bite your tongue and you cut the conversation short, alluding to something instead, keeping their curious minds hanging. The 10 of Swords reversed is like never getting that closure, that full picture, having that whole conversation. It's also about letting somebody down easy. So there we see aspects of your communication being very straight to the point again. People assume that you're going to be able to communicate difficult messages in quite a friendly way, in almost a jokestery way. You may be really good at breaking bad news because you do so with humor. You may have a funny way of like twisting dark humor into conversation, but it comes across as very lighthearted. People seem to be very drawn to your humor in general. And what makes you unforgettable is these like cliffhangers you give that have people thinking quite a while after they've spoken to you. They really hold on to the words you use, the jokes you use, and the messages that you portray. Over here with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, I feel like what makes you unforgettable is this energy of like somebody who's not afraid to make big changes. It's interesting seeing an Eight of Pentacles reversed because it feels like a compliment to you, but it also feels like this is an insecurity that you have. It feels like you're not happy about this. You're not happy about the fact that you've never really mastered anything, or that you never got to finish one of your goals or dreams that you were really holding on to. But from the outside looking in, other people see this and they find it really mesmerizing that you're not afraid to tear shit down and to start from scratch. What makes you unforgettable is the fact that you're not afraid to walk away. You may have left a job or a career that people are still in and they still think about you. They think about the fact that you had the guts to leave. People think about the fact that you're not afraid to start again. You're not afraid to change lanes. You're not afraid to just sort of go, this isn't for me. And instead of feeling attached to the lack of progress, you gravitate towards the new beginnings. Now with this Nine of Cups reversed, I feel like people definitely feel like you're going to put your own mental health and well-being first. And this may apply in situations where it's more common for people to consider other people's well-being. Also, it reminds me of workplaces that expect you to maintain a work ethic in spite of your well-being, or dynamics within society and social constructs where you're expected to be congenial and to almost exhibit people-pleasing behavior instead of putting your own needs first. Other people are actually very drawn to this and they admire this within you. Your ability to go, listen, I'm going to help you today, but I personally need time for me as well. Because there seems to be a weird balance here of people getting to see both sides to you. The side to you that self-sacrifices and the side to you that draws hard boundaries and says, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not able to do that. More often than not, you come across as somebody who will say yes when asked to do something like a favor. But there's an acknowledgement here of the fact that you will ultimately put your well-being first. And this could be where that assumption doesn't align with your reality. This could be something that you find you struggle with. You may feel like you're someone who needs to start saying no more instead of yes. Or you may feel like you're someone who hardly ever says yes, and you're confused as to why people think you would. But that's what's coming through, is that people think that you will most likely say yes, and if you don't, it's because you have good reason to. There are a few people from your past who feel scorned by this because you've had to elicit strong boundaries. These are most likely family members and friends in the past who disrespected your boundaries and your well-being. They're the ones who come through this reading as feeling scorned and jaded. with the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position, I believe that this is talking about your ability to, again, let go. There is an energy here of your lifestyle and how you spend money. Now, this is an assumption. I don't think it's accurate. I'm really seeing clearly now where there are assumptions versus where there's accurate portrayals of your personality, and Spirit saying this is an assumption. The assumption is that you are very good at making and spending money. Although you're not the most wealthy person that people know, people assume that you lead a lifestyle that is quite bougie, and they assume that it comes into being because you know how to save money. People assume that you have they assume that you spend a lot, but they assume that it's because it's kind of a part of a plan or something. There are some people who are coming through as older. They could be your parents or the parents of a spouse, but they have a judgment and fear over how you're going to secure your future, what your retirement is going to look like, because they don't think you have a lot of savings. They think that you spend a lot of your money on experiences and short-term wants and needs, and you're not investing it into a long-term portfolio. They're worried about you not saving for a house or not saving for your retirement fund. They feel like you spend more than what you make. This is the older people. Younger people are amazed in terms of like your peer group, people who you share a workplace with as well as friends. They are amazed that you're able to do what you do with the finances that you have. You know how to be thrifty with your income is what's coming through. What makes you unforgettable seems to be within like a co-worker space more than anything. So I think most of the people that you interact with are either colleagues, fellow workmates, family members, or friends and friends of family, because they seem to know you through your immediate environment or your interactions. So is there anything else with this Four of Pentacles, Spirit? What makes my group fours unforgettable? Yeah. People think that you spend your money however you want. You're not worried. This is such a weird thing to think about too. So I guess that reference to work makes sense. I only take that message if it resonates, because that's all I'm really getting with the Four of Pentacles. The High Priestess. I feel with that card, Spirit saying what makes you unforgettable is that mystery again that we saw with Shadow. The High Priestess is very like soft sort of spoken. Well, not because they're shy, but because they know the power of silence. You're coming across as someone that knows more than you say. And although you don't communicate everything that you hear or that you think, people assume that you have a really good instinct and a really good intuition. And if somebody has ever tried to keep a secret from you, or tried to cross you, or even tried to do something that they wanted to, again, keep secret from you, I feel like they believe that the truth comes out. You have a powerful way of knowing things that you shouldn't know. You also have this otherworldly thing about you. And that's what makes you unforgettable. The people that don't get to talk to you much are kind of left intrigued about you, mystified by you. And I'm hearing that word, mystify me. Is that in excess? Yeah, you guys have a very strong presence, and you have something striking about the way that you stare. Even when you're trying to hide, you stand out. A lot of people notice you. but mostly you come across as someone who keeps to themselves, unless these are people that get the privilege of seeing you over time, consistently within a workspace or in a, environment that you're going to come back to. Then most often than not, people don't get to communicate with you. They don't get to see the facets of your personality. So that's what's coming through. I kind of want to, there's something else that I need to ask for you guys before I get your closing message from your higher self. Your closing message from your higher self is more an affirmation from the Heartfelt or Heart Thought Oracle deck by Louise Hay. And the affirmation is to just kind of center yourself back in the core of who you are. Because this reading is a lot of hearsay and speculation about what others think of you, I wanted to end your reading with a card that can affirm your true identity, so you don't feel too swayed by external opinions. But I feel there is one more question I need to ask Spirit before we wrap your reading up. Spirit, what question do you want me to ask them about what makes him unforgettable? I'm hearing, why don't people approach me more? That's interesting. Let's see. Spirit, why don't people approach group 4 more? Temperance reversed. The Hierophant and the 4 of Swords. Honestly, if you guys feel like not a lot of people come up to you, or that you don't attract connections organically, it's because of the environments that you're in, accompanied with the fact that you come across as very self-contained. The situations in which you interact with people may be very structured. It could be very specific, like the Hierophant talks of a traditional setting like a workplace, a school, a religious institution. Because of the structured nature of these environments, there's not a lot of room for people to deviate and approach you in an organic, natural way. It feels like a lot of your interactions with people are structured, and there's not a lot of natural chemistry there. It has to flow within a specific routine or within a specific schedule. I'm also seeing that a lot of people don't want to disrupt this schedule or this routine. They don't want to go against the grain, which is why they stay in the lane that they are supposed to when they're interacting with you or when they're around you. Outside of that, there's also a message of strangers assuming that coming up to you in the environment that you're in most of the time would be more disruptive towards you. And so people try to leave you alone. People try to give you your peace. Even when you look frustrated and frazzled, people assume that they can't do anything to help you, and that this is something that you're going to have to fix by yourself. Temperance reversed is a very unsettling feeling of impulse and frustration, while the 4 of Swords reversed is a feeling of slowly reanimating and coming out of their shell. Some people simply don't have the patience to be able to appreciate the person that you are. And so my group 4s, if you're in an environment where you feel like you're not getting enough human exchange, enough human interaction, and you're not meeting enough people, it could be because you're not being seen as someone, as the person that you truly are. I feel like people are, for some reason, lacking patience and care in the environments that you frequent. And you're being protected from people who will actually disrupt you more than help you. So my advice to you would be to switch up your environments, to start considering going elsewhere so that you can attract people who are of a different mentality and who aren't as disruptive to your peace, but who are helpful towards your healing. You may resonate as someone who's still in hibernation, and that you're meant to be more isolated right now. And if that's the case, then coming into contact with more people is going to happen naturally and when you're ready. It's not a process that should be rushed, is what I feel. Okay, let's get a heart thought card from your higher self now. Spirit, what does group 4's higher self want to say to them? What card may offer group 4 most helpful messages from their higher self? Okay, this is beautiful, especially after the message that I just had to deliver. I am welcomed with joy wherever I am. People love working and being with me. As I express my thoughts, feelings, and ideas, they are welcomed and easily comprehended by others. I feel this is so beautiful and powerful. This heart thought card is truly an affirmation that can help manifest environments in which you are welcomed with joy, in which you are free to express your thoughts, feelings, ideas, and in which people are welcoming and hearing you and seeing you for who you truly are. So that is what I have for you, my group 4s. I'm going to take this into your extended reading now. In your extended reading, we're going to have a look at what makes you unforgettable by delving deeper into who is remembering you right now. Why are they remembering you? And what is the outcome between the two of you? I will play a sneak peek of your extended reading right after this clip. So all you have to do is keep watching and that clip will play. It's going to be about 30, maybe 60 seconds. And it's aimed at kind of giving you a sneak peek at what is in store. So if this sounds intriguing, if you want to be a part of the extended readings, the link is in the description box, as well as the pinned comment. That link does take you to my website, Group 4. And on my website, I host each group's extended readings. So please make sure you click on the right group before you purchase anything, before you spend any of your hard-earned money. Remember your group 4 of my What Makes You Unforgettable reading that I posted in September 2024. Thank you, sweet souls, for all your time, your energy, and your support right here on YouTube. It has been an absolute pleasure to be able to read for you. If this is where we're parting ways, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Until we meet again, bye. This person's actions seem to be immature though. And honestly, this dice makes me think of somebody who is playing with others, who plays with the emotions of others. I'm going to pull tarot to clarify who this person is, but this die makes me think that they're just like a person on the street. Well, that's who they are now. And I'm kind of hearing the Gotye and Kimbra song, Somebody That I Used to Know. There's an energy here in fortitude that makes me think of perseverance, courage, and all those sort of physical acts of strength and energetic acts of strength. This person's determination is what gains them your attention because of their courage, because of the fact that they're not willing to give up. But it's not going to take long for you to recognize the differences, the incompatibilities.